Hey there, welcome to my videos. After a long time, it's been a minute. So, today I have decided to talk about vaccines. Okay, so before we start, you see the background has changed. I'm home, I'm happy, I'm with my family, everything is going well. Like, yes. Okay. So, about the vaccines, what are the vaccines? Vaccines are the biological preparants that we use to prevent certain diseases. So, vaccines are specific for certain diseases. Uh, so we have live vaccines, we have inactivated vaccines. So the live vaccines, they when you compare them to the inactivated vaccines, the microbials in them they have been just attenuated. So to make them like to weaken them a little. So uh so live vaccines live vaccines are when we use the live vaccines, like in the case of COVID-19, there were vaccines that are live vaccines, like the Johnson's is a live vaccine. So when you use it, you have to use it, the dose is lower than when you use the inactivated vaccines. So the inactivated vaccines is vaccines like the Sinovac. So when you take vaccines like the Johnson's, you have to take it like one time. Then the inactivated vaccine, you have to repeat them because they are weak. So when it comes to the side effects, when you use live vaccines, they have stronger or severe side effects as compared to the inactivated vaccines. And when we come to immunity, which is the main thing in vaccines, the live vaccines have they give stronger immunity as compared the inactivated vaccines. Like let's say for the inactivated vaccine, it can last until 6 months, but maybe for the live vaccine, it will take 1 year, 2 years, something like that. So, what else? The other thing that is different about vaccines is like the we have like the monovalent, polyvalent, and the associate. So the monovalent contains like one strain. Let's say we have salmonella. So when we produce the vaccine for salmonella, we will use one strain of salmonellosis, the Zorovac, in the monovalent. When it comes to polyvalent, we will use like two strains or more than that. Even if you use the COVID-19 as an example, you remember they have been saying there's certain strain that is found in Southern Africa, there's certain strain that is found in Brazil, there's certain strain that is found somewhere. So in the monovalent, they have only the South African strain. Then in the polyvalent, they have like Brazil, South African, and other countries' strains in one vaccine. Then when we come to the associate vaccine, it's like when we took the polyvalent, it was like the same disease. But when we take the associate vaccine, it contains strains from different diseases. Like it's more like polyvalent, but containing different diseases. Like in the case of if we want to take anthrax and Clostridium chavoi, we have two servers in one vaccine of two different vaccines, so we call them associate. What else about vaccine? The vaccines, before you use vaccine, you have to check the bottle if it's still sealed. You have to read the details. We have to check the expiry date. If anything is broken, you have to take that package and send it back to the pro user. You don't have to use anything that the seal has been broken. What else? Even if it's expired, you don't have to use it. Also, people who are immunosuppressed, like people who just gave birth and people who will give birth in like 3 months, they don't have to take vaccines, because when you take vaccine, you introduce certain microbials into the body. They are weak, so they cannot make you sick. But if they find your body very weak, like your immune system is very weak, cannot fight against it, you will be ill and have like severe side effects. So this is why we have to consider certain things before we carry out the vaccines. Why are vaccines important? The vaccines are very important because, for the immune system, we have like the innate immune system and the learned, like, yes, and the learned immune system, acquired one, the one that we get from vaccines and other biological preparants like the immunoglobulins. So immunoglobulins are also, they are antibiotics, but we take them from a sick animal or a human, then introduce them to the body. So in the immunoglobulins, the person who receives them is not going to produce his or her own antibodies. Those ones are already prepared, but it's for a short period of time. So vaccine, when compared to immunoglobulins, when you introduce it into your body, what happens is your body is going to learn it. After learning it, it's going to produce the antibodies against that antigen. Just like when we were learning the enzymes, you remember in high school, I think it's high school, they will say like enzymes have a substrate and the key. So it's like a lock and a key, they have to match. Even vaccines, like the antigen and the antibody, they are like that. That is why even if you have antibodies in your body, if it's not specifically for let's make example of, if it's not specifically for flu, the antibodies will not take care of that. Yeah, that is how they work. What else didn't I cover? Yeah, I covered that the monovalent, live and inactivated, we have to take several times. Yeah, the immunity, yeah, okay. So what is oh, we also have the virulence and the pathogenicity. So when we have the antigens or the viruses, the bacteria, they have what we call the pathogen. We call them pathogens. So the pathogenicity is the ability for them to cause diseases when they get into our bodies. Then what is the virulence? The virulence is the degree, like it measures how strong they are. So the virulence can depend on the immunity and the susceptibility of the person who is coming into contact with them. So yeah, I think I tried to cover it a lot more than I wanted to. So thank you. I wanted to make a video after a long time, especially when I'm at home. And also so I have to respect people's privacy. So at home I won't be making a lot of videos. Uh, and the internet here is very expensive. You unless you will give me some donations. Thank you. Goodbye. Hope you learn one or three things from this.